Hey guys, pardon me for that little problem. I was having a problem with computer and the computer must not be able to record for a certain time, so that's why it cut off on me, unfortunately. But I remember where it was at and my place discovering this wonderful movie, Batman Ninja. So anyway, Batman takes up Bane by transforming his vehicle into a giant mech suit, and then Joker also transforms his little chateau into a giant mech. And saying that it was a mech suit was a little bit of an overstatement because the only thing that seems to be mechanized is the giant arm. Adding treads on the thing, and you can move forward and back. So there was that. But it was able to basically crush that mech on the ground. And unfortunately, Batman couldn't do anything. So he ended up having to abandon ship, as it were. So when that happened, Joker came down and finished him off personally, but he was defeated and Batman rescued by the Bat Clan of ninjas, which seems kind of like a big asshole to me because, Batman's got everything named after him. He's got the Batmobile, Batcave. Hell, he even got a Bat credit card. So, to have a Bat Clan ninja named after him with prophecy that the leader will be the Batman sounds kind of forced, if you ask me, but whatever. There might be some kind of a clan of ninjas out there that worship bats and all that, because who's afraid of the big black bat? Not me, that's sure. Now, also, I want to point out the voice cast for this because they are really incredible. Okay, but nobody can ever outdo the Batman, in my opinion, the animated Batman voice for Kevin Conroy, who passed away a few months ago, at least. So let me just say, I apologize for getting too late, but R.I.P. me. So anyway, you get the new Batman voice of it as Roger Craig Smith, the guy who does Sonic and Sonic Boom. He really does a pretty good job at being Batman. They have Grey Delilah as Catwoman, Selena Kyle, and she played the Princess Azula in the Avatar show. And then they had what's his name, Tony Hale as being the Joker, which he does a pretty good job too. Not as good as Mark Hamill, but still a pretty good job of it. And then they have the legendary Miss Tara Strong as Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Now, I don't think that she's ever done Poison Ivy before, but I know that she's very famous for playing Barbara Gordon as well as Miss Harley Quinn. Now, this could actually be a bit of a lower thing because Harley Quinn was known to be lovers with Poison Ivy at one point. So I think they probably did that on purpose to cement that connection between the two characters. I don't mind that whatsoever. I'm LGBTQ on this 100%. So anyway, he also had Eric Bauza as Two-Face, which could work for this movie too. He does a pretty good job of it too. And they had the Japanese voice actors, which I will not attempt to pronounce the names. I'm sorry for that, but that's the bricks. But besides Will Ferrell that does Red Robin and Robin, I don't know the difference. I'm sorry, I don't know the difference between the two Robins, and that's about it. I don't know what happened to the Gorilla Grodd voice actor. What happened to anybody else on the English side, but they have them in Japanese form. Deathstroke works good in an anime-inspired Japanese form. He's even got a woman with him, which I'm jealous of. And then you have the Penguin, which kind of linked for this thing anyway. And then they have Poison Ivy, of course. It's a kind of link for this too, more or less. And they also have Joker, Harley Quinn. I'm sorry I keep doing this, but I did keep track of everybody. It's Grodd. They have Deathstroke or Slade, as it were. They have Two-Face and Penguin. I guess I got more. Because being into from muscle, he has no brains in this movie either. I know that he's very intelligent of a bad guy, so anyway, yeah, those 6 characters. And then they also have a weird thing with the Bat Clan help out with Batman with taking out the battleship that Gorilla Grodd and Joker have, because they couldn't do in cahoots with each other to one backstab the other one. So anyway, they have the good guys trying to take over Joker's ship, which has a delightful little face on it that's reminiscent of Joker. And it's funny because this face looks like the face on the Big Rig from the Stephen King movie with the truck on it. I can't think of it now. Because of course he does. And all of its foot soldiers have the same type of Oni inspired samurai mask on it, which is really funny. And when they put the poster for the Batman on it, they have his face and mask on there, but his mouth being open up ended on the mask ends up making a real funny face, like a constipated face, which I find delightful and very much in line with what Joker would view Batman as. So anyway, like I said before, all the bad guys are trying to take over Japan. All 5 bad guys and Grodd are trying to take over Japan, trying to divide up the country and then unite under their own leadership. So kind of like imperialism, but with the superior technology and mega ability, they're gonna do it. And may I just say that of all the mechas in this movie, and where there are a lot of mechs in this movie, I actually prefer the one for Two-Face. The one that's inspired by a Buddha slash, I think it's Shiva. You know, multi-armed Shiva of Hindu mythology. I think it's pretty cool. I'm sorry, but that's cool. Yeah, multi-limbed bell structure with a house on the back of it. That's freaking awesome. I really wish that they would do that in their Godzilla movie. Make it some kind of a type of fight like that. Maybe it would be too religious for them to do that, but it'd be funny if they did have that in it. By the way, later on they do have a big fireball fight with giant Megazord of sorts, a villainy against a giant Batman. They have bats and monkeys. It depends what you expect. Could you expect anything less? I don't think so. Every idea that they could think of, they're like, we have this list of ideas, and the director and the creative people were like, fuck it, put a plot on it, give them everything that they got. And sure enough, everything sticks. Because in a movie about time travel, anything goes, pretty much. So anyway, they have this little flotilla, and it turns out that Batman and the Bat family defeat the Joker in fisticuffs, and then it turns out that Gorilla Grodd and Catwoman end up betraying everybody to become their own little faction, and the war ends up beginning again with them, I think, throwing a bomb onto the ship and then destroying everybody involved. And then you have Batman, who still can't get rid of a bomb, recovering with Uncle Alfred. It's funny that none of the citizens of Gotham City were also affected by this time bomb, or whatever you call it. They went back in time. But, yeah, they do all that. And then they show the Joker and Harley Quinn, which apparently got lost their memories about being crazy and committing crimes and all that, and became simple farmers. I mean, they still look pasty white with green and blonde hair, especially so they would obviously stick out like two thumbs in a sea of brunettes in Japan. So yeah, but Red Hood, very hilarious, like all of them and stuff. Also, thinking that they have all the wherewithal, and they are playing something that's crazy and insane, like they always do. So then they realize that these people aren't who they said were. They lost their memories in the explosion and everything and fighting. Even Batman said, I thought these people were all the mind before, and they are honestly telling the truth that they are regular people again, and they're no longer insane. You know what? Even I feel bad that this red demon guy was kicking the crap out of these poor farmers for no reason other than being sadistic. I mean, I know who Red Hood was before that, but he would just go over the top and keep it being neat to people off for no apparent reason. So he was like, look honey, look what's growing on the ground. A new flower. Then he said, oh, joy and rapture, we finally got something that we wanted. So then it turns out that the Joker actually hypnotized himself into making it look like he was somebody else to fool the Batman and its compatriots so that they would leave him alone for the time being. And then they would strike when the iron was hot, as it were. And may I just say that the flower that they discovered was actually like a trigger to them maybe come back to them from the aroma or something, maybe the pheromones that the plants give off to them. And the face on the root of this flower looked awful like I know there's a mythological name for it, but it was called he referenced it in Inuyasha, in Pokemon. The plant with the human face fruit. I forgot what name it is. It's a horrible thing. But then you feel Batman, and then you feel Red Hood, and everything else. And what's funny is, Batman has the mask on with the ears, with the pointy ears on. Then he has a conical hat on, which is common for as Bigfoot, I guess. But it's really adorable seeing the hat on, with the ears poking through the straw hat. It was really funny and adorable. And kind of over the top too. I mean, we've seen Batman using a black bandana to cover his face up. So why didn't he do it in this time? I don't know. Maybe he wanted to communicate with the Batcave back home, or back in the pagoda that he lives in. I have no idea how that's powered up at this point, but who cares? Anyway, you have them actually thinking that these two are normal people again. So they turn their attention to taking out Rod and the four others. Poison Ivy, Penguin, Two-Face, and Deathstroke in their various mechs and mecha and all that. And it's quite good that they have the mechs in there, because the animation is absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of something you would see in a video game, like say Okami or like one of the more recent Legend of Zelda games. I mean, really impressive. And they do all that. And it's actually really nice that later on they actually combine forces that they've done fighting with each other and whatnot. They combine forces and they're like, haha, our whole plan was to conquer the world in a giant mech. So what are you gonna do about your little squeaks? And eventually Catwoman betrays Rod. Why they put together, I have no idea why. And I don't want to think about what Rod did to Selena Kyle make her stay. So anyway, they all combine. They all fight each other. And they all combine. And then Joker actually betrayed Grodd with like some of his Joker bombs, grenades from a hot air balloon. Of course, with Joker's big mug on it. It had like an outfit on that looks like a combination of a clown, Chip Capalotto's outfit from Final Fantasy, and a Shogun, which is like really funny. And his color scheme, purple, green, and white is hilarious. So then he takes over the giant mech, which I guess it was okay with the others, seeing that he's the in-team boss of the outfit. So then Grodd gets knocked out. Selena Kyle goes back with the good guys again, and the little one of Robins ends up befriending one of the little monkey friends, and then uses the flute to control a bunch of other monkeys to make a giant monkey, and it looks an awful lot like what do you call it, the little kid from Sheldon Showdown. I'm not even joking about that. He looks like a big Sun Wukong, and it's hilarious. It's adorable and hilarious at the time, because whenever this giant mecha of big proportions with a giant Joker head on top, we want to picture that he's in control of everybody. When the thing onto the missile at the monkey's head, the little monkey can end up going making a hole in the head so that the missile can pass by without harming a single ape inside, monkey inside, and then detonates behind without any problems. So this monkey ends fighting with this giant robot, for lack of better terms, piloted by the 5 supervillains and Harley Quinn on the side. And it's really stupid and sweet, but it's so likable. Because you want to see what happens next all the time. So then the little monkey ends up getting burned to a crisp because giant Joker mech ends up using a giant flamethrower at them. And it burns the little armor pieces. And you see the little monkeys falling off one by one. So then they end up transforming again, using a giant set of bats from the Bat Clan, apart from this weird thing there. So it's kind of weird. Like I can't read this like that humans evolve from a common ancestor with apes and all that. So it's kind of similar to that effect. But when the bats end up becoming a giant Batman, it's a real joy to me, because the Batman form doesn't resemble that Batman back there. It resembles something from my old cartoon, which made me scream like at that. And that was really amazing, because when they went into the giant bat, apparently the giant Batman is flame retarded, because they used a giant flamethrower beam from when they fought with the monkeys. And it's really funny that this Batman can take punishment like that, and then still keep coming at the giant mecha, and he punches him right in the face, and punches the Joker right out of it, and it swarms him with live bats. Meanwhile, little monkeys end up going to the giant mecha and destroying it from the inside out. Who knows how many monkeys died when they were going out and ruining all the gears and destroying all the internal mechanisms of the giant mech. But they also have a thing where they have all the Batman and Catwoman taking out all the supervillains at the same time, one by one. So, like, for example, Red Hood goes with Deathstroke, Catwoman goes with Harley Quinn, one of the other Robins, as well as Nightwing. Well, Nightwing goes with, I forgot who, probably Two-Face. Then one of the Robins goes with Poison Ivy, and they get defeated and killed by these guys and girls. Until it's only the Joker versus Batman. So, they have an old-fashioned samurai showdown on top of a big pagoda at the end of it. And what's really amazing is that Joker actually beats Batman in a sword fight and pushes him off the edge, which kind of the theoretical to the movie of Ninja Batman. But then Ninja Batman revealed that it was just a ninja trick that he learned from the Bat Clan. And in fact, the real Batman was just behind Joker the whole time, and that he would never let Joker win against him in a fair fight. So they end up taking more swipes at the Batman, and the Batman just reveals that it's another illusion, and the real Batman does the jutsu, whatever, to show that he is the Batman. I am the Knight. I am vengeance. I am the Knight. I am Ninja Batman. So then he ends up launching out this guy off there. And he catches the blade and snaps it in two, and then brings the Joker to justice, along with the other bad guys, and Grodd too. Then they power up the purple crystal, and then everyone gets sent back to the future after he miles an hour. So, they also get a quick thing about what happened to them in the now timeline, where they show Batman's car is now Japanized. That's the best way I can describe it. And they show that each criminal go to jail and everything. So, yeah. This whole movie was fucking amazing. Every absurd thing you can think of for Japan and Japanese culture within this movie. There were mecha, there were monkeys, there were animation styles like a comedy video game. There were different anime styles, there were different anime weapons, there were many different anime inspired characters, and there was the princess Kayuga. There was a reference to different anime styles like Kill Bill Volume 1. It was just freaking amazing. There was Naruto references, with Sheldon Showdown references. There was the original Batman cartoon references in there. It was all just one big treat. And that so in the costume, in the Shogun costume, as well as Two-Face, is a big treat. The Penguin, I know the Penguin is a witness. Poison Ivy, but she was good enough, but as the only female there, that was a super villain, besides Harley Quinn, I think it was a pretty good matchup. But one thing I did notice is that all the villains that they picked for this movie were all non-technology users, besides their weapons. There was no mystery there. There was no Ra's al Ghul. He would have been a good pick for this. No Killer Croc. No other technology-based enemies. Which is kind of a disappointment, but still it's pretty logical. And let's see what else is there. Yeah, I just love this movie. Pieces very, very high tech and very, very cool. I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to this in the same style. Thanks to here. Also, it was kind of weird because they had captions on there for hearing impaired. But it was weird because they had laughing maniacally. So how would someone that's deaf or hard of hearing be able to tell the difference between them? That's an interesting question. You know, I always hate it when they have sound caption on there. It said like, you know, there's a trumpet solo or this is a drum solo or something. You know, nobody would know what that is. And that's funny to me, I think. But in any case, this movie was great. It was grand. It was spectacular. I recommend Japanese culture or anything to do with Batman for this Marvel. This definitely out of its comfort zone. And if it wasn't for the Catwoman or any of the Bat Family or any of the Bat Clan, they were decades away before without Bruce. And I like the way they have a thing where the Batman is almost defeated and they show his mask like half on his face to show that he's almost defeated. They almost got him. And that was really spectacular. So yeah, I thank you for watching my little discussion about Batman Ninja for Asian History Month in May of 2026. For obviously, I did for the Asian History Month. And well, my team Clayface too. Clayface would be awesome in this universe. But anyway, we got. As you can imagine, I give this video my happy face skill below. Come on. Who could decide that this movie is awesome? There's no one on earth that wouldn't say that. This movie is good, it's got good violence in it with bad guys and good choreography and kung fu and that kind of thing. Plus, you could go wrong with giant mecha fights, or giant monkeys, or giant Batmans. Everything is all good. I especially like Red Hood and Nightwing too. Those are really freaking awesome. And Catwoman is Bella. So yeah, God, I love this movie. Anyway, if you like me is here and want to see more of my videos, always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you want, you can contact me for future information on my videos, but call me or text me at 631-707-3707. Or if you want, you can follow me on Twitter or X, if you prefer, at PMelson or my email is jjgamingchannel@gmail.com. So, I salute all the people who like this stuff, who like the Batman, who like ninjas and Japanese culture. We never actually see what happened to the forces that were already there in Japan, like the shoguns, the emperors, and so on and so forth. You know, unless we went in the Joker's group, killed them all, or Grodd's group, killed them all. So yeah, this thing was awesome. That's peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll put the link for the movie in the description below because it's freaking awesome. It's only like an hour, less than an hour, 3 minutes long, so it's pretty short and concise. And the first 5 minutes of the movie go back to the past, and it's glorious. It's like two things when they go together, they go together fine. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys in Interland. Ciao, sayonara, and Aveen Singh. By the way, I think that they salute people in that movie like Americans do.